Fletcher here, doing a simple little YouTube video. A lot of people are interested in farming Shaper. A lot of people have a goal of killing Shaper, right? Everything in this game is about getting to a boss and having the ability to crush that boss and begin to farm it. So is farming Shaper worth it? And if I was to sum it up, because I know people in PoE like short and to the point videos, much more detail about them throughout this video, but if you just want to know the simple tips, is Shaper worth farming? Yes, he is. When is he worth farming? When you farm him early is my first tip. When you don't buy the sets and you run the maps instead of just plainly buying the sets, he's worth it. When you run him early and you run the maps with a high atlas, you are able to get map returns, which creates free sets after a while, because you will get map returns, you will create free sets. And the third one is to run him a lot. If you don't run Shaper a lot, you will not make money. If you run him once or twice, you'll just simply throw your money away. The most important thing to do is to keep running him, even when you go on a dry spout, is to run him 4, 5, 6 times. You get 6 pairs of gloves in a row. But you stick at it, you don't get disheartened, you go back into maps, you make that money back, you make another set, you run some more Guardian maps. When you're doing your Guardian maps, you might get a Scourge Claw that's 6 exalts, that's all your failed Shaper sets back, nice, you've broken even. And then you begin to go again, and then you find the Ruby Flask, and boom, you're 6 exalts in profit. You have to farm the Guardian maps, farm it early and farm it a lot. Doing it once or twice with Shaper doesn't work, you just throw away currency, but over time it's definitely profitable. So we'll go into a little bit more detail now. We've done 19 Shaper runs, probably a couple more off stream, I can't think, I probably got gloves maybe. Last league I did 20, 30, 40 Shaper runs as a support. My friend farmed Shaper a hell of a lot, and as a result both of us have got pretty fed. Do it like this, 8 exalts. We had, I think we had a 7 exalt sword, and then we had one that was 4 because the price dropped. We've had 5 flasks, 2 sold for 6, 20C. So let's ignore that. That basically was the cost of the map. So we made 70 exalts, 19 Shaper runs, but a lot of that currency is coming through the Guardians. That is what helps balance it out. That's the benefit of doing it early, right? Now, or you do it in a couple of weeks. All of a sudden, right, you run six Shaper sets that cost you 6 exalts because you didn't run the maps, you didn't get any for free, you just bought the pieces and they cost you 6 exalts, and you run 6, and you get nothing, and you lose 6, you got nothing, right? But all of a sudden, you're farming them early, you run 6, you lose 6, and then you get a sword for 8, right? That's boom. You made 2 exalts. Yeah, you've ripped up 6 Shaper sets. You've wasted a bit of time, but you've made 2 exalts. But if you do it right now, if you don't get in there early and you don't buy the Guardian maps, you'll waste 6 exalts and then you'll finally get a sword on your 7th run. And all of a sudden, you've got friggin' 0.8, you've got 80 chaos. You sat there with 80 chaos and you're like, damn. Now, farming Shaper, to me, isn't just killing Shaper and collecting its drop. If you collect its drop, you're going to be struggling for profit, in my opinion. Part of the process for me of farming Shaper is getting in there early, that's one of the key components, and actually farming the Guardians for the set. Now, it's like at GGZII, where if you farm the fragments and then turn in the fragments into the map device, obviously your run is, quote, free. Now, a lot of my runs have been free. A lot of the way I've made profit through farming Shaper has been through effectively getting free runs. It is that if you have a good atlas, you will get returns, and you will also get other stuff along the way. You can run a Hydra map. It costs, say, 25C early on. Now, the fragment might sell for 19C, so what you could just do is not buy the map. You could just run the fragment, you could just purchase the fragment and save yourself like 6-7 chaos, depending on, you know, whoever's selling it. But, in my opinion, that's not really worth it. It's better to spend the 7 chaos, because over time, because you're farming it, over time, you will make money. You definitely will make money. I've done it. I've killed, I don't know how many Guardians. We got the challenge for killing 40 Guardians a long time ago. And in my opinion, the best thing you can do early on is to run the Guardian maps. Starforge right now is 80 Chaos Orbs. It's like an Exalt and a bit. And a Shaper set is, let's have a look, in Breach League, is 1 Exalt. Okay? So if you run it and get a sword, you're barely making money. You know, a sword is very, very rare, right? Now, again, early on in the league, your profits are so much bigger, so much bigger. You have an 8 Exalt sword. I think it was a 6-7 Exalt flask. Edge Terror Claw. 6 Chaos Orbs. 6 Chaos Orbs, right? So cheap. When I was farming early on, because I got in there early, these were 7 Exalts. So, by simply not buying the fragments and just running Shaper. If you just run Shaper, right? You just put the fragments in and you just run Shaper. In my opinion, you won't make much money. Over time, the most important thing to note about Shaper is the only way to make Shaper profitable, in my opinion, is to run the maps. So run the Guardian maps, right? Because they give you a chance to get the other drops early. You have to farm it early. And you have to farm it a lot. If you just put the fragments in and run the map, think about it. The only thing you can get is the drop. Which means probably 50% of the time you're going to be getting a glove. So 50% of the time you're throwing away an Exalt, you have the potential to get these other drops. You will earn currency, trust me. The Brass Dome right now, I think the last one I sold was 20 Chaos, right? It was 20 Chaos, and that's pretty horrendous, really. When I got my Brass Dome, it was 3 Exalts. That is 3 Shaper runs. That's how you've got to think about it.